Good morning, sunshines. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I felt inspired to do a self-care, self-love kind of video because I am on my period, on the cycle, and it has been a brutal one. You know, I used a hot towel for the first time ever on my cramps yesterday, and it was a welcome relief. And I feel that today is just a day where the focus needs to be on that self-care, self-love, taking care of you. Don't forget to pamper yourself, etc. As you can see here, I have made a platter of soothing, nice things for you guys to enjoy in the background. But I thought we'd point it out. I have a big old amethyst stone. Look at this crystal perfume bottle. Relax candle. There's a wax warmer. This is fake lavender, but it's cute. LED candles. This lavender spray. Big fan of this platter. We're gonna call it a platter. Without further ado, we're going to hop into my top 5 ways for self-care to give yourself the most self-love on a bad day. Use these tips at your discretion because the person who's giving you advice did eat half of an XL Kit Kat king size, extra king size bar for breakfast this morning, and then followed it up with a very healthy oatmeal and her vitamins. But you know, I'm not perfect, obviously. To break this down as easily as possible, I thought we would start with step 1, taking care of the inside. And by inside, I mean pure kind of health focused, right? So on a bad day, it could be your instinct to kind of want to use food as a comfort or alcohol or things of that nature that might not be in your best interest. And I don't want to say don't do that because I don't think villainizing those things is really the right way to go about it. But if you're going to do those things, let's make sure we also combat it by doing some things that are incredible for you. So let's make sure we drink some water. I'm almost sick of hearing it and / saying it, and I still struggle with it, don't get me wrong, but I'm terrible at drinking water. And I have to leave water everywhere visible in my house or I won't drink it, which is kind of an eyesore, but actually kind of helpful. So I have these glass bottles that I got, and I have a little mini fridge downstairs and a fridge upstairs, and I'll kind of leave them out sometimes in like strategic places because when I see it, I'll drink it. But if I don't see it, then it no longer exists for me and I won't drink it. So that's just a little tip I use for drinking water, is having it visible and available is really helpful, but that is going to help your body function inside and out. Highly recommend. Go take a big gulp right now if you can, and drink it throughout the day. Gonna be great for you. Great for your skin, great for everything. I also saw this TikTok. It said the skin elasticity test. So you like squeeze the bit of your finger, I don't know, that little wrinkly bit, and depending on how fast it goes back down is like, it's like a hydration test. So the faster it goes back to where it's supposed to be, the more hydrated you are. A doctor on TikTok, take that for what it is, did respond and say that is a common test used, and that is at least somewhat valid way to tell. So I like to do that to myself a lot. I'll do the little finger pinch test to try to see if I'm hydrated. Me and Teddy will do it right next to each other, and he's great at drinking water and I'm terrible at it. And his did in fact go down a lot faster than mine. So that's part of taking care of the inside. In addition to that, I know we can maybe instinctually grab some comfort foods. I think that's fine in moderation. Grab a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I also try to make sure that I'm doing something that is going to benefit me though. So get in something nutrient dense, grab a salad, a smoothie, something that's just gonna be good for your body in the long run. Take your vitamins that morning. Make sure you're just getting in a bit of micronutrients to balance out anything else that you might do that day. So feel free, have a little indulge, but make sure that in addition, you're also like getting those micros in, because I just think they're really important long-term health-wise. In addition to taking care of your insides, you're going to want to do a little bit of exercise. Now, personally, on my bad days, the last thing I want to do is go freaking work out, okay? So let's make it a little easier on ourselves, a little more like bite-sized and manageable. I think something that you could definitely achieve on any day, bad or good, is like a small walk outside. It's kind of a 2-for-1 there because you get in a little bit of nature, which I'm going to have in later, as well as a little bit of exercise. That little spike in your heart rate is going to be incredible for your body. It really just helps you kind of get everything moving and flowing inside, and it's so good for you. And I know you don't want to do it, or I know I don't want to do it a lot of times, but just even that tiniest amount of exercise, getting some movement in is going to be great. I like to set a timer on my phone or something for like 15-20 minutes max if I really just don't feel like it, and just get to moving in that 15-20 minutes. Even if it's just like vigorous house cleaning, I think that is a valid source of like getting your heart rate up, particularly on days that you just don't feel like getting it done and you want to kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Why is that a saying, by the way? And get a little bit of cleaning in, but then you're also gonna like get that heart rate up, get moving, and I think that's going to be incredible for your well-being. So we're going to make sure to do those things on our bad day, because those are things that you might not necessarily want to do, but that will benefit you for the next day and the days after that. If you're not feeling up for any kind of workout and you don't want to go outside or anything like that, I would advise getting a really good stretch in. So just getting all those aches and pains out, making sure that you're just working on your range of motion of your arms. I know that's a really good one. And just stretching and getting every piece of your body just nice and moving in a direction that's not just like slouched over, hunched, like looking at your social medias, you know what I mean? So make sure that you get that blood flowing, the circulation going in every part of your body. I think a stretch is a great way to do that. You can look up like tons of the videos on YouTube on like 5, 10, 15, 30-minute stretches, like whatever your time crunch is. Like I know there's a video on YouTube for you for that. Highly recommend getting that in. Okay, so for step 1, we took care of kind of our internal physical health. Does that make sense? For step 2, we're gonna take care of our external physical health, if that makes sense. So this is skincare, just for the most simplest of terms. The amount that this can entail for you is incredible. I have a lot of options for you. Feel free to pick kind of what suits the day you're having and what you kind of want to do. But here are my kind of top activities for this step. I know a lot of people love bubble baths. I see people post them on their story all the time. I hate sitting in a bath. I think it's so boring. Even if I put on a Netflix show or something, I get uncomfortably hot, and if I'm not hot, then I feel like I'm sitting in lukewarm water and I just don't like it. But if bubble baths are for you, then heck yes. I prefer a very warm shower, a very warm, very thorough shower. So regardless of whether you're doing it in the bath or the shower, I'm gonna get you to pop in there. I want you to scrub every inch of your body, and I mean it. Scrub it. Get underneath your fingernails and your toenails, and I want you to just scrub your feet and just every inch of your body. One tool that I love to use to achieve this task is, Teddy actually put me on these, but there are these exfoliating gloves, and you can get like a pack of 20 on Amazon or whatever site very cheaply. I can keep the same pair for a while. I don't use them every day because they are like exfoliating gloves, so I don't just always want to just like scrub off everything, especially if I have a rub-on tan on or anything. But I do like to just kind of scrub and clean every crevice of my body and just feel so squeaky clean. And you're just gonna wash your hair so thoroughly. If you have a hair mask, throw it in beforehand or afterhand or whatever you do with those, and just really clean, deep clean, and nurture just every inch of you, head to toe. Let's do it, okay? It's gonna make you feel refreshed, and you're gonna smell great, and you're gonna feel great afterwards, okay? But I find that always kind of makes me feel a little refreshed, and it's not something I take the time for every day to do like a super thorough deep cleaning of myself. So I think this is a great time. I think this is a great time to do that. As I was saying that I don't like to exfoliate my spray tan off, I do like to use these days, particularly my bad days, to prep myself to have a better day the next day. And as cliche or silly as a rub-on tan may be, they always make me feel just like a little bit better about myself for some reason. So I usually use my off days to be like, okay, let's at least do this, and then tomorrow I'll feel bomb, hopefully, yeah. But I like to do my exfoliation, get squeaky clean, and then rub on a spray tan a lot of times on bad days. If it's not a day for that, then make sure you just lotion yourself up and that you're just going to make sure you're just like a dewy goddess afterwards and lotion and love on every part of your body. Clip your fingernails, clip your toenails, get everything. We're working on the details today, you know what I mean? We're glowing, we're dewy, everything is wonderful, okay? Another thing that I don't like to take time for all the time, but that I will do if I'm having a bad day, because I know it'll benefit me in the long run, is I'll go and I'll actually blow dry my hair and I will make sure that it's going to look good that day and the days after. So take a little extra time, a little extra nurturing, use the product in your hair that you have, you know, don't forget to protect it from the heat and everything else, and nurture that, you know, get it ready. This is actually very dirty hair that I'm sporting right now, but you know what? I blow dried it and I did curl it. All the curls have fallen out, but kind of gives it some body later, you know? It's a vibe. And that's pretty much it for step 2. We're gonna be taking care of the outside of our bodies. They're gonna feel great afterwards. Just trust me, spend a little time and nurture yourself, because who else is gonna do it for it, you know what I mean? I just realized that I was sleeping on this earring weird. I put it in backwards and I never fixed it so it wouldn't stab me in the back when I was trying to sleep. And now I just have this backward ass earring in my hair. Devil's in the details, you know? Step 3, we're gonna focus on your surroundings, okay? Okay. So it's time to tidy up. Again, not necessarily something you wanna do on a bad day, but it is something that will make your bad day a little bit better. What that means to me is we're going to change and wash your sheets if that's not something you've done recently. I like to change mine every other week because Teddy is sweaty. I mean, he's not sweaty. He's just a lot warmer than I am in the bed, and I just like to change them every other week. So change and wash the sheets. Put on your favorite set of sheets if you have that, because I know I have that. I just have that one set that's just like, my favorite. We're gonna do that. We're going to just at least pick up around the house. Again, I'm gonna use my timer strategy, and I'm just gonna put a timer for like 15 to 20 minutes, and I'm gonna just clean up the kitchen or the living room or my bedroom or something like that. I think that's a good tactic to not make it overwhelming for you. I get really easily overwhelmed. I don't know about you guys. So that is something that I do to help myself, especially on things that I've been avoiding for a while, or we as a household, I guess. Teddy does the dishes mostly, but if I've been avoiding the dishes for a while, I just don't want to do them. And then obviously they build up, which is silly. And then I go in there and I'm like, this monstrosity, and I can't even look at it, so I just leave. But that is obviously the opposite of what you should do in that situation. So doing things like throwing a timer on and getting it done in that time period, or just being like, whatever I can get done in 15 minutes. If I don't complete it, that's okay, as long as I just take these 15 minutes and just bang it out. And usually, a lot of tasks surprisingly only kind of take 15 minutes. Another strategy while I'm doing that, especially on like a bad day or if I don't really feel like doing it, is I'll put on my iPad or laptop or whatever, I'll put on a show that I like, maybe a podcast or something, anything. Put on something to kind of entertain yourself while you're maybe doing something that you don't love doing. You know what I mean? It's really important to focus on your surroundings because a cluttered home can often lead to like a cluttered mind. So decluttering that and just kind of like simplifying your surroundings is going to make you feel a lot more at ease, especially if you're having just like a bad, anxious, weird feeling day. And I know when you're having lows, that's something that you might not be taking care of as well. So we're going to use our bad days to just spin everything around, you know what I mean? Also something, if you've just been avoiding things, something that I like to do on a day when I'm just kind of flustered is I'll go through my closet, and if I see something that I've just been holding on to for no reason that I know I just am never gonna wear, I like to go through and get rid of a few things. Like the other day I just went through like just my sports bra drawer because taking on the whole closet itself is just overwhelming. Picked out all the sports bras that I'm just not going to wear. They're too tight, they're too this, they're too that, and I'm just over them. And they've been in there forever, just taking up space for no reason. And I'll take those out and I'll put those in my little donate bag. So we're gonna do that, declutter what you can, do some laundry, put it away, make your bed, make things fresh, smelling good. You know what I mean? Step 4, we're going to take care of ourselves emotionally. These are also things that I find I don't necessarily want to do that day, but I know will make me feel better after I do them. We're going to pop out our gratitude journal. If you don't have a journal lying around and you don't feel like getting one, you don't have to physically write it. You can pop it on the notes on your phone, whatever you need to do. Write down 5 to 10 things you're grateful for. If that sounds overwhelming, maybe just 3, whatever you can do. Write down just anything you're grateful for. A lot of times when I'm feeling like a little negative Nancy, I will write down base level things that I'm grateful for, like the ability to breathe deeply, the ability to walk and run, the ability to move my limbs, because tons of people don't have that option, you know what I mean? So I'm extremely grateful for my health and my body, that my body's always taking care of me, stuff like that. So those are things that you can put in your gratitude journal. But writing down things that you're grateful for makes the bad not seem so bad, because you're like, at least I have these things going for me, you know what I mean? Like, it could always be worse, which is not what you want to hear on an off day, but something that just might put your mind a little bit at ease. It's like, I have these things and I do really love these things. Like, that's awesome. One thing that I find takes myself out of my head for my bad day is I'm like, who do I love? I love a lot of people. Well, I love some people. And if I'm thinking about them, I've been trying to make it much more of a habit recently to reach out when I am thinking about someone. If something reminds me of someone, I'm like, why don't I just shoot that person a text? Why do I have to wait for like a birthday or something like significant or something to reach out? I'm like, I just thought of you today because of this, and I'll send that text. So on an off day or any day, I think it's not a bad idea. Send a couple messages to people that you love and remind them that you love them. There's never like too many times you can tell someone that. So just to, give them that thoughtful little text, or I thought of you, or I'm thinking of you, or I love you. I would love to receive random texts like that. Like, it makes me feel loved and whole, and I like hearing things like that. So it's a good thing to share with other people. But also another thing that I saw recently and have kind of been inspired to do is to do some handwritten notes here and there. I think those are really meaningful, and if the person's like in the vicinity of you and you can feasibly give them a handwritten note, I think those things can just mean a lot to people. So if you can, write it by hand, because that's always nice to go that little extra step. But also a text message is totally fine. Like, I would love and adore those kinds of messages. So make sure maybe you spend a moment thinking about somebody else, because I know it's, at least for myself, easy to wallow in my own self-loathing or misery every once in a while. You just have those days. My big issue a lot of times is I don't want to bug other people, but I don't think it's bugging people to let them know that you love them. So let's reach out to our loved ones and let them know. That gratitude journaling, if you like to meditate, or even if you've never meditated before, give it a try. Now's as good a day as any. There's tons of videos online that will walk you through one, or you can just kind of try to sit there quietly in your own place. It's all about kind of being in the present moment, and I think that brings a lot of people clarity, and it's a really good thing to implement when you can. So what's a better day than the bad day to try it out? You know what I mean? Let's give it a go. Let's meditate. We're in the present. We are so zen. Damn. Step 5 is time to indulge in little things that you love to do. And this is something that I like to do kind of after I've taken care of the busy work, the stuff that's gonna prep me better for the next day, etc. So this could be something like baking a super tasty treat, or reading a book, maybe rereading one of your favorite books, or grabbing something new, like a fiction book, something just kind of fun that's not necessarily just like put in the work. Though some self-help books are really helpful and feel good when you read them, so picking up a book like that is great too. Laughing so important. So I'll watch something funny, or throw on some TikToks or something that will make you laugh. Maybe call a funny friend or something. Do you have those? I don't know. Do I have a funny friend? I don't know. I'm the funny friend. Just kidding. Anyway. Or something I love doing, which is not always common, but I'm sure tons of, maybe, what am I saying? I'm second guessing myself before I even say it, but I love to do puzzles. Puzzles just make me feel good. It's like making something chaotic like make sense, and I just find them very soothing to do love me a puzzle. I love to watch, to do a puzzle while I watch like some show that I like that doesn't involve like having to stare at it the whole time, you know what I mean? So not like an action show where a lot of things are happening on the screen necessarily, but something where it's more like you could listen to it and laugh to it, maybe some kind of comedy show or something while you do a puzzle. Love that, makes me feel so good. I don't know why. So doing a little more of your like indulging things that make your brain feel good, that just kind of give you that, the dopamine that you're kind of looking for. I mean, I know I'm always looking for the dopamine, so things like that are one of my favorite activities to do. Oh, playing a video game that I like to play that I haven't given myself time to play recently or something. That's always fun to do. Indulging in your faves. Make sure you get some of that in on your bad day as well. So that is going to conclude the 5 tips that I have for your self-care, self-love, things to do, tasks to do, whatever. I hope they were helpful to you. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you have not already, for more content. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Comment down below anything else, top 5 tips, if any other topics you'd like to see. But I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Ta-ta for now. Bye.